Hey students, welcome to another Mr. Ness screencast. Today's aim is the EU and US migrant crises, and here are your objectives. Please pause the video, look these questions over, and get ready to copy some vocab terms and take some notes. So in this video, I want to tell you about two migration streams that are happening in the world right now. One that is heading to countries in the European Union and the other heading to the United States. Now, neither of these migrations is among the largest in the world right now. The number of people migrating to the EU and to the US is smaller than the number of Syrians who have moved to Turkey, for example, or the number of Venezuelans who have moved to Colombia. But these two events, which I'll call the EU migrant crisis and the US migrant crisis, are important to this class for a couple of reasons. You're going to learn a lot more about the European Union later in the year, and I want you to be aware of the issues that migration is creating there. And as for the US, immigration is a hot political topic, and I want you to know where migrants to the US are coming from right now and why. I refer to these events as crises because the number of migrants is large, and in both places, the influx of so many people is straining the capabilities of immigration officials and creating a lot of political controversy. So let's look at the EU migration crisis first. So the EU is the European Union, 28 countries in Europe that share many of the same policies. And migrants to the EU right now are coming from two main regions with specific source countries in each region. Let's look at the first region, which is the Middle East, and that includes Syria and Afghanistan. You learned in the last lesson that in those two countries there are long civil wars going on, and people there are refugees who are fleeing violence. Well, many of these people are trying to reach the European Union. And the second source region in this crisis is sub-Saharan Africa, including countries like Senegal, Burkina Faso, and Nigeria. And migrants from these countries are economic migrants, they're not refugees. They're fleeing poverty, not warfare. And in the movie that you just watched in class, Mediterranean, the main characters were economic migrants fleeing from Burkina Faso. All right, take a look at this map. The main destination country for migrants going to the EU is Germany, and I'll come back to why in just a moment. But most migrants are reaching Europe by crossing the Mediterranean Sea, and the first countries that they reach in Europe are Greece and Italy, to some extent Spain as well. So again, think about the movie where the characters cross the Mediterranean on their way to Italy. So although the most common ultimate destination for migrants going to Europe is Germany, they often arrive in Greece or Italy first. Some continue their journey on to Germany, but others end up staying in Greece and Italy. Now let's look at why Germany is the most desired destination for migrants heading to Europe. Germany has the largest economy in the EU, so jobs are more prevalent and the quality of life is higher. And it has also had, for the past 10 years or so, a relatively open immigration policy that welcomed refugees. Many refugees arriving in Europe now are hoping to reconnect with family members in Germany who arrived earlier, and that's that idea of chain migration. Germany also has political stability and offers a safe environment for migrants who are fleeing violence. All right, now let's look at the US migrant crisis. Most migrants are coming from either Venezuela or from a part of Central America called the Northern Triangle, and some are coming from Haiti. You've already learned about migration from Venezuela, so let's focus here on the Northern Triangle and Haiti. The Northern Triangle is this region. It includes three countries, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. And the most important push factors in those countries are poverty, gang violence, and extortion. And extortion is when gangs force people, especially business owners, to pay them money by threatening them with violence. And when people cannot pay the money, the gangs harm or kill them. In addition, a recent political coup in Haiti has led to a large number of migrants attempting to leave that country and head to the US as well. The coup has caused political instability and repression, and it led to the rise of armed gangs. So take a second and review the push factors for migrants coming to the US right now. First, there's Venezuela, which you studied in class and is one of the top 5 source countries of refugees in 2023. And then we have the Northern Triangle of Central America, which includes 3 countries of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, where people are mostly fleeing gang violence and extortion. And then there's Haiti, where people are fleeing political instability following a recent coup, as well as violence and threats from gangs. Why do migrants hope to reach the US in particular? It's for the same reasons that the people coming to Europe want to reach Germany. Like Germany, the US is a wealthy country with lots of job opportunities, political stability, and a high quality of life. And the US is much closer to these countries than Germany is, and in fact, it's the closest wealthy country to Venezuela, the Northern Triangle, and to Haiti. All right, it's time to review the objectives. If you don't know the answer to any of them, just rewind the video and look again. I will see you in class. Bye, students.